So, what I wanted to talk about today has to do with neuroplasticity. It seems that part of the reason why people think kids learn languages better than adults has to do with the state that their brains are in, which is this neuroplasticity state. So, if we seek to learn things and learn things in faster and better ways, then it seems like that having this increased neuroplasticity, as it's called, would be beneficial. And when it pertains to language learning, we are trying to create pathways in our brain from like language to meaning. Without words, you can imagine a whole bunch of different things. Like you could imagine when I say food, there's probably like a specific food that pops in your head, and you have a word to describe that food, like a specific word, like it's a steak or it's a carrot or whatever it is. Now, like you have to create these new pathways of language to these meanings. And so neuroplasticity is sort of like promoting the building of these pathways. So if we want to learn languages rapidly, if we want to rapidly acquire languages, it seems like this is a good state to be in. But like, how do we actually do that? There's a few ways you can do it, and a lot of it has to do with diet. Like there's a bunch of studies that show that there's these certain micronutrients that if we are scarce in them, if our diets are scarce of these certain things like magnesium, choline, omega-3s, curcumin, that neuroplasticity can be increased at least by having some of these. So basically, you want to be eating things like plenty of nuts and leafy greens like kales. There's things like egg yolks or like these types of fats that contain lots of choline. You could eat lots of fish to get these omega-3s, or flax, I think, has some too. Basically, a diet is like a big factor when it comes to the it seems like the ingredients necessary. So that's kind of like step one, is like you need the ingredients for for neuroplasticity to be increased. And then it seems like there's um, things that you can do to make those ingredients more effective. So you need to exercise. And the exercise kind of ties into another thing that has to do with maintenance, which is like mitigating stress. We know that exercising more is going to lead to you being less stressed, and that when you're in a less stressed state, you have increased brain function, and that increased brain function use these ingredients that you've acquired. And then another thing that has to do with this maintenance is like sleep. So you need to get enough sleep to be able to function properly. Now, there seems to be a lot of recent argument about whether 8 hours is good or whatever. You should just get the enough sleep so that you feel good throughout the day. There's some things that say that's like between 6 and 8 hours. There's some people that might need more than 8 hours, whatever that might be. Just like get enough sleep. Don't be going 3 hours or no sleep. And then things that you can do to promote neuroplasticity. So like learning a language is on a bunch of these lists that tell you how to do this. Stuff like learning an instrument or doing difficult mental tasks like learning about something new, like I don't know, it doesn't have to be a language, but like some, maybe math or history or some subject that's interesting to you. You kind of want to go through this process of maybe finding new things to do, but also like doing things that you're going to repeat doing. You're strengthening existing pathways and building new pathways. So it's not just to do with learning a language, but to maybe learn an instrument or reading a book or whatever. So it seems like there's those three things, which is like one, get the ingredients, two, maintain your health so that you can use those ingredients that you've got, and then do activities that stimulate your brain in order to take advantage and get accustomed to like a neuroplasticity state. That's at least what I've seen in like some very, very brief reading online. If you're familiar with like other things or have read some interesting stuff, I'd be super interested in knowing about that too. Link it in the comments if you got it. and I'll see you next time.